Here's a story out of Indianapolis, where a white wife does not like the way the police handled her black husband when they responded to her call for help.
New information tonight detailing what led up to a deadly scuffle between a suspect and an IMPD officer. Kevin Hicks was shot by police last night at an Indianapolis gas station. Tonight, we are hearing from his wife, who was there to witness it all.
Fox 59's Charlie DeMar joins us live now from police headquarters downtown with a closer look at what she has to say. Charlie.
Dan, Aisha, good evening. I spoke to Heather Hicks at length today. She was visibly shaken, and there were certain things from last night she just didn't want to get into. But most of all, she wants answers from IMPD.
My whole family's distraught. You know, it's a hard thing to deal with.
Heather Hicks is coping with the loss of her husband of 20 plus years, Kevin Hicks. She watched on as an IMPD officer exchanged punches with Hicks, eventually shooting and killing him.
I do believe that it could have been handled differently on the officer's end. Absolutely.
Police say it was Heather who called 911 Tuesday night, telling dispatchers Kevin was hitting her in the car.
They need to stop talking about whatever's happened between me and my husband in the past, and they need to focus on what happened last night with that officer killing my husband.
Police say Heather pulled into the Marathon gas station at 10th and Rural because she saw a cop car and needed help. When an officer confronted Hicks, he became aggressive. Police say video surveillance captured the exchange.
What is on camera, and I can tell you, is a fight that was not kind of grappling and dancing around. There were punches being thrown.
Witnesses tell police the officer tried not to use deadly force, but Hicks knocked his taser away.
You know, the officer followed the policy announcing that he was going to use his taser. He attempted to disengage. These are all things that officers are trained to do.
Witnesses also say Hicks tried to get a hold of the officer's gun in the fight, and that's when the officer fired, killing Hicks. The 6-year IMPD officer was treated for a possible broken hand, bite marks, and monitored for a concussion. And as you heard from Heather just moments ago, she says she does not want the focus in this to be on her husband's checkered past, as he does have a prior battery charge.
I-Team-8 has learned police issued a warrant for Hicks hours before that shooting. I-Team-8's Bennett Haverly spent the day digging into Hicks's criminal past. So Bennett, tell us what you learned.
Well, Brooke, court documents show that Kevin Hicks was released by a community corrections facility around 9 a.m. yesterday to go look for a job, but didn't return by 3 in the afternoon. A warrant was sought for his arrest around 6 o'clock last night, and police say it was that altercation with an officer at the Marathon gas station about 3 hours later that led to Hicks being shot. This is the latest note in his court file that notes that Hicks was killed by police. He was serving out a 1-year sentence for domestic battery, pleading guilty in 2 separate domestic cases involving his wife in 2015. All told, he has at least 4 domestic violence convictions. Court records show during the June 3rd domestic violence incident, he was charged with 2 counts of resisting law enforcement. Court records show Hicks attempted to ram his own head into a wooden post after officers responded, saying, quote, "I just want to kill myself," while struggling with the officers. Now, during that incident, an officer's hand was injured. Hicks has a long history of domestic violence, as I mentioned, with at least 4 convictions.
Does this story sound familiar? It should. Just a few months ago, Minneapolis was in an uproar when police were called to the scene of an episode of domestic violence. That's a polite way of saying Jamar Clark was beating the hell out of his girlfriend. They rolled in and say, "What's up, Jamar?" Next thing you know, they're fighting Jamar. He's attacking them. He's going for their gun. They pulled their gun and killed him. All the witnesses agreed. Jamar wasn't doing anything. He was handcuffed. Oh yeah, that was all a big lie. That didn't stop all the Black Lives Matter crowd from going crazy in Minneapolis, insisting that the cops be indicted for murder, which they were not. Now we go over to Indianapolis, where they have the same kind of mojo going on, maybe worse. Lots and lots of black and white crime, black mob violence, black criminality, lots and lots of denial from cops and reporters at the highest levels. Absolutely refuse to identify it. And this is what we have here. But let's take it to the next level. Let's think about this. We know that in the case of a black man and a white woman, the chances of domestic violence, spousal abuse, black and white is 5, 6, 7, 8 times greater than if the couple was white on white. So this guy had been arrested and convicted 4 times. Lord knows how many episodes of domestic violence that really represents over 20 years. And so on some level, that woman stopped being a victim and she started being a volunteer. But what about the cops? Because she volunteered for this lifetime of domestic abuse for insane reasons of her own, she put the cops' lives in danger. And I guess we're just supposed to sit here and shrug our shoulders and say, I guess I didn't notice any of this. Well, around here, we notice. That's why we remind people, don't make the black kids angry.